Okay, good morning, Chavra. Today is the 16th of Tammuz. We're on page 83 in your Chayenu. Beautiful Wednesday morning. Please stay cool today. Make sure you drink a lot. It's going to be real hot out, apparently. Okay, in today's lesson, just as in the name Yud Ke Vav Ke, Havaya is a description of Ishtalshalus, the successive downward evolution of worldly reality from pure godliness to creation. Each major stage represented by one letter. As we explained previously, the Yud is the beginning, the wisdom. The Hey begins to bring the flow of godliness downward. The Vav brings it straight down through the Kav. And the Hey is when it actually becomes a reality. So too, in a microcosm, the soul, the neshama, which is a chelik elikah, part of Hashem, contains these four elements of successive expression. I love how he says this. Analogously. So it's a mashal. But the exact same thing applies to the soul. Except, obviously, it's not exactly the same thing. There's an infinite separation between the creator and the created neshama, the soul. Shebechinas nefesh, elikis, which is the divine soul, which Hashem blew from within himself. So since the neshama derives from the internal aspect of godliness, the Yud Ke Vav Ke, that special name of Hashem, which comprises the 10 sfiros, the soul likewise comprises the following characteristics. Yesh ba bechinas seichel v'ne'elam, hamarumas b'is Yud. There's the initial state of Chochmah, the hidden concept alluded to by the letter Yud. Remember we said that the Yud is just one point, just as the letter Yud lacks breadth and length and is but a simple point, so too is Chachma a faculty that lacks intellectual length and breadth. It's just a concept, it's just an idea. Possessing the potential of being revealed, and thereby understanding and conceiving Hashem's true existence and greatness. In each person, he could understand and receive that godliness according to his measure, and according to the breadth of his intelligence, and according to maybe the length, so to speak, of his intellect, of his understanding. So while the degree of one's comprehension of Hashem, of godliness, depends on the breadth of one's intellect, a Yid's essential ability to find Hashem's true being and greatness securely integrated in his mind stems from the soul's attribute of Chochmah, alluded to in the letter Yud. That's where Chochmah comes from, the Yud, the wisdom, just like the Yud is the wisdom of Hashem. As a man deepens his intellect, his intelligence, and broadens his mind and comprehension to contemplate God's greatness. You know, years ago, when we were younger, we didn't think about this too much. But as we learn more and more Chassidus and Tanya, and our minds develop, we mature and develop, now we understand more. Sometimes the more we understand, the more we realize that we understand less. Okay? So now we graduate, so to speak, from the letter Yud, just for the idea of being an idea alone, from wisdom to developing an understanding to the faculty of Bina, which is alluded to by the letter A. That's wide on top and starts to slope downward and bring down the idea into reality. The Hey also has length to indicate downward extension. You understand it, and now you can take it down further. So from this initial idea of the thought, You bring it to understanding and contemplation of the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And while you do so, you also arouse a love and a fear, meaning other emotive attributes, which are termed offspring or branches of love and fear, in a person's mind and in the inner recesses of his heart. So as this is developing, this is the early stages in the generation, in the development of spiritual emotions, of Ava and Yira, and so on and so forth. Yet, they're not manifest just yet. They're still developing. Until ultimately they find overt expression in his heart. Now he knows, now he feels more confident that he can love and fear of Hashem. At least he has an approach. So the downward progression of intellect into the realm of emotion is indicated by the vertical length of the letter Hey. Taking it from intellect into emotion with the part of the Hey that goes downward. Down, it's coming into the heart of the person. So these spiritual emotions lead to true avodas Hashem, service of Hashem, in Torah study and in doing a mitzvah, with your voice, if you have one, and with speech, or with deed, with action. In Oishes Vav and Hey, this is the import of the final letter Vav and Hey, and that completes the name of Ay, Yud Ke Vav Ke. For Vav alludes to voice and speech, while Hey alludes to action. Remember, Hey is just the right, less speech, more action. It's funny because you have to put in more effort to say the Hey too. Vav comes easy. That's speech. Speech comes easy. But the Hey, action is a little bit harder. Furthermore, contemplation. When you think deeply and you try hard to understand and conceive Hashem's true being, that also comes from Torah. Meaning such contemplation must necessarily be preceded by the study of Torah. When you learn Torah for the sake of Hashem, you're studying godliness. So it comes hand in hand. The meditation on Hashem and learning Torah and the meditation on Hashem. The Torah precedes Chachma. Which is, what's the Chachma? Going back to the original idea, flash of wisdom, which is the Yud of the Yud Ke Vav Ke. And that concludes chapter 5. Takeaway for today is Hashem's 4-letter name. It's paralleled in the soul of man. A person has intelligence, Yud and Hey, to comprehend godly matters. Of course, one also has emotions. So you're using your brain, but you're also using your heart, your emotions. And that's the Vav, to develop a love and fear of Hashem. And finally, the final Hey of Hashem's name is the ability to speak words of Torah, to daven, and action to, again, study Torah, and action is to do the mitzvahs. So that concludes today's lesson, and that concludes the 5th chapter of Igeres HaTshuvah. The 4th chapter, and we will begin the 5th chapter tomorrow. Okay, that's it for today, guys.